Video dose! Yeah, that's what we're doing. Today's video dose, we're going to look at the automatic drip brewer and give you some pointers on how to make the most of it. One of the most common questions I get when people come in wanting to buy pounds of coffee at the shop is how to make it taste really nice on their home brewer. This can be a little bit challenging, but if you know a few things about how it works, it can help you tremendously get better quality coffee. The first thing that I always tell people is to use as hot a water as possible. I'll ask them, hey, what's your method for making it? And they'll say, I dump some water into it, I got some coffee in there, we go. How hot's the water? If it's just warm water, it's not going to be good enough. This thing does not have enough energy to get warm water to be about 200 degrees, which is where you want to brew coffee, in the 10 seconds that it takes from dumping it in to dripping down into the coffee. So the way that you beat that is you use a tea kettle. I've got a really nice one here. You can get any sort of tea kettle, bigger, wider spout, whatever. Get a kettle that's nice and sealed up, get that on your stove and boil your water. You can walk away and forget about it. Let it boil for a little while, whatever. I know that mornings can be busy and crazy, but get that water boiling and then dump it into your reservoir here so that by the time it hits your coffee and mixes with your coffee and cools down a little bit because it mixes with the coffee, it's right around 200 degrees, which is the ideal temperature for brewing coffee. That'll make a tremendous difference right there. In the meantime, as you're doing that sort of stuff, really make sure that you pay attention to how fresh your coffee is. Maybe buy smaller amounts of coffee. If you use coffee often, get in the routine of buying coffee once every 5 days or something like that, because the fresher your coffee is, the better flavor you're going to get out of that coffee, especially if you're having it pre-ground. It's best to wait and grind your coffee right before you brew it, but like I said, I know how mornings can be and you just need that cup of coffee ASAP. So listen, I'm not going to make you boil your water and grind your coffee. Maybe nobody got time for that. So if you do want pre-ground coffee, buy smaller amounts of it. Also, be sure a lot of these brewers use plastic parts, especially with plastic parts. Don't let residue build up in here. Don't let that coffee residue build up. Clean this stuff often and clean it as quickly as you can after you've brewed, because whatever residue builds up in there has a flavor, and I promise you that flavor is not a pleasant flavor. Finally, when you're tasting your coffee, if you're going, man, this stuff doesn't taste quite how I want it to, it tastes too sour or it tastes too bitter, you may want to adjust your grind. And for doing that and figuring out how to do that best, I'll recommend you go back and look at a video we did back in our video archives a few weeks ago on how to adjust your coffee grind to get the best flavors out of your coffee. So hopefully that helps make you even better coffee in the morning so that it's not just absolute necessity sustenance, but actually an enjoyable experience too. So try that stuff, see how it works for you. If you're still having challenges related to that or some different challenges to brewing coffee at home on a brewer like this, go ahead and put that in the comment section below. Ask your question, let us know what's going on, and we will answer that. We'll get back to you and try to help you troubleshoot it. Cool, hope it works for you. We'll see you next week.